Hey everyone, Rimshot here. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new. Today, I'll be discussing, you guessed it, why I love the Sly Cooper franchise. Part 1. Sly Cooper was one of my favorite games growing up, and I thoroughly enjoyed its plot, its gameplay, its atmosphere, you name it. It has everything a PlayStation fanatic wants. Now, I might just be nitpicking because there are a lot of video games out there that are just as good. But this particular game is one of my likable ones. Mind you, my one weakness is that I'm very picky about the books I read, or the games I play, or the movies I watch, or the music I listen to. If it's pleasing to me, I'll listen to, read, or watch it. And this particular game that I will discuss has everything I could ask for. If you haven't played the game, I'd advise you to play it before watching this video, because there will be spoilers. You have been warned. The way I see it, Sly Cooper gives me a cops and robbers vibe. To put it bluntly, Sly is a thief from a long line of master thieves who gain their stealthy skills from an ancient book called the Thievius Raccoonus. You think the Cooper family is a bunch of evildoers, but in reality, they're more like gentlemen thieves. They only steal from criminals, because as Sly put it, there's no honor, no challenge, no fun stealing from ordinary people. Apparently stealing from a master criminal makes you a master thief. Kinda reminds me of the Avatar episode when Katara says, stealing is wrong unless it's from pirates. Coincidentally, Sly Cooper has a pirate ancestor who steals from other pirates named Henrietta One-Eye Cooper. Funny thing is, Sly Cooper has a very diverse ancestry. A multiracial raccoon who has all sorts of European, Middle Eastern, Asian, and even African roots. And the origin of it all came from the ancient Egyptian pharaoh Sly Cooper, who stole from corrupt pharaohs and greedy noblemen. What sticks out to me the most about the Cooper family is that they all have supernatural abilities, possibly stemming from Sly Cooper himself, who had invisibility. So magic is in the blood of the Cooper family. Kinda reminds me of Hollywood magician, but I've never heard of a magician who's also a thief. I do think it's possible, and this is coming from a mystic arts rookie myself. Magic can do all sorts of things when harnessed and mastered. I have yet to master it as a shaman though. But anyway, in the first game, Sly Cooper and the Thievius Raccoonus, we start off with Sly Cooper in Paris, trying to sneak into the police headquarters and steal a file from the Interpol police officer Carmelita. When he does, he is immediately caught by her, but manages to sneak away. Let me stop here and say, what the hell is this bitch wearing? What kind of freaking police officer wears a goddamn crop top? I don't know a single police officer who wears some shit like that. My aunt most certainly didn't, and she was a cop. I understand they would want her to make her look sexy, but come on! Be more accurate, why don't you? She looks good enough, even with what a cop would really wear. Jeez. But I will say that she has an awesome weapon for detaining criminals. The shock pistol should have been an inspiration for cops to make their own, and they haven't yet. It's an advanced form of a taser, which should be very useful in taking down bad guys. Then again, in the wrong hands, it could be extremely dangerous. But it is either way unless you have a voltage setting so that your blast of electricity can stun or paralyze someone instead of killing them. And they can be pretty destructive too. Anyway, Sly goes into his backstory about how as a kid he was supposed to inherit the Thievius Raccoonus until a group of 5 criminals called the Fiendish Five stormed the house, killing Sly's parents, tearing the Thievius Raccoonus into 5 pieces, and splitting them up, then going to parts all over the globe to commit evil crimes. The orphan Sly met his lifelong friend, Bentley, a turtle, who is the brains of the Cooper gang, and Murray, a hippopotamus, who is the muscle. Together they plan to defeat the Fiendish Five and steal back the Thievius Raccoonus. Sounds like a pretty good plot, doesn't it? But that's only the first out of the 4 games in the series. Right now, I'll be talking about the first. Before I continue, I do want to note the gameplay of the series. Sly Cooper starts off with 5 lives, but 1 hit means instant death. I know it seems unfair, but I think there's a valid and somewhat symbolic reason for this. Sly Cooper doesn't have the Thievius Raccoonus for the time being, so he doesn't have his ancestral magic, which would have given him that health bar in the future games. For now, since he has no magic, he's just a civilian. That's how it is for everyone who's got magic and who doesn't. Magic can be used for healing or for increasing your health. If you don't have magic or psychic powers, which let's be for real, not everyone does, that makes you a civilian. And that's what Sly Cooper is at this point. It's a one-hit kill for him, because he's ordinary. And I understand why the creators at Sucker Punch Productions made him like this. This might not have been their intent, but I like how it was made because of how symbolic it is. He has his family heirloom, the cane, but in the first game, it's not enough. He has to rely on skill alone to defeat his enemies. But the one thing that saves his life is money, which manifests themselves as essentially pennies. If you don't know your lore, finding pennies brings good luck for a day. I'll get into the origin of that after another video of me reviewing another one of my favorite books, The Bad Luck Chair by Sue Wilkowski. Sly Cooper is able to find those pennies by simply collecting them from the ground or by smashing objects. Once he collects 100 pennies, he gets a lucky charm, a horseshoe, to give him an extra life in case he gets injured. This probably stems from Sly's ancestral magic, which was somewhat dormant within him except for when he sensed thieving opportunities in the form of blue sparkles. And that ancestral magic connected with the energy from the lucky horseshoe, giving him magical protection. And this, I should say, is definitely possible if your magic is strong enough to mix with the charm's magic. What makes this even better is that 100 more coins gives him a golden lucky horseshoe. And the more dollar bills he gets, the more lives he gets. So depending on the charm, the more like it you collect as a magic user, the stronger your magic. Now in each of the 4 out of 5 areas with collectibles Sly explores, there are clue bottles in random places in each mission. If you find all of them, you'll be able to unlock the safes that contain pages from the Thievius Raccoonus, each page detailing master thief moves from Sly's ancestors. And you can switch between different moves, whatever moves you want. And then there's the treasure keys, which if all are collected in every mission, it will lead you to the boss battle. It's a pretty straightforward gameplay, and I loved every second of it, no matter how complex it was. I knew the symbolism of it all, so it was easier to relate. With Sly Cooper's adventures at the police HQ out of the way, let's get into what Sly Cooper is facing. The first place to go was the southern coast of the Isle of Wrath in Wales, where they encounter the first member of the Fiendish Five, Sir Raleigh the Frog, a nobleman who got bored of his life of luxury and turned to piracy, and was brought up as chief machinist of the group, and had invented a storm machine to send sailors to their deaths. Defeating him results in Sly Cooper getting a page featuring his Japanese ancestor, Ryuichi Cooper's ninja-spired jump, which enabled him to get over tall palace walls in feudal Japan. The next member is the chief enforcer of the Fiendish Five, Mugshot, who used to be the runt of the litter. His only friends were the gangsters he saw in movies, and he knew that was what he wanted to be. After exercising and building himself up, he grew up to be the toughest gangster in town, to assure that he'd never be picked on again. His location was in Mesa City, Utah, and from there, once he's been beaten, the next page of the Thievius Raccoonus centered on his ancestor, Tennessee Kid Cooper, a play on Billy the Kid. His moves included the rail walk and rail slide, moves he invented during his bank robberies in the Old West. The next was Chief Mystic of the Fiendish Five, Ms. Ruby, an infamous voodoo priestess. Born into a family of mystics, she grew up without friends because everyone was scared of her because she taught herself how to summon the undead. So to punish the world for fearing her as a child, she turned to crime, and her powers allowed for her to break the laws of both man and nature at the same time. Her location was deep in the Haitian jungle. Now, I'll stop here because I want to talk more about Ms. Ruby. A voodoo priestess who can summon the undead is pretty frightening, and believe it or not, it is possible to make zombies if you are a powerful enough boker. However, unlike the flesh-eating zombies you know of today, real zombies don't eat flesh. They were essentially revenants, reanimated corpses, who were made to do the bidding of the boker that made them. It's, in a sense, a form of necromancy. A form of incredibly dark magic, which I stay away from as a shaman. Luckily, the production of zombies was made illegal as part of the Haitian Criminal Code of 1883. I don't know how or why Ms. Ruby broke that rule at a young age without getting arrested, but hey, it's a game, right? When I played this game, what grossed me out about her was that she had a goddamn green water flow overflowing with freaking bones and body parts. Seriously, how sick is she? And the boss battle with her was quite complex, but awesome. With her defeated, the next page of the Thievius Raccoonus centers on Sly Cooper's first ancestor, Sly Common. I already discussed him, of course, so there's no need to bring him up again. So, Sly now has his ancestral magic to some extent, but there's more that he needs in order to gain a health meter and full power in the future. Now, before I get into the fourth member, I just want to say, why the hell would Raleigh, Mugshot, and Ms. Ruby reveal each other's locations? I understand that they think it will be impossible for Sly Cooper to defeat them, but that's a terrible way to move the plot along. Bentley could have done it better. But anyway, on to the next one. The next boss to face is the demolition expert of the Fiendish Five, the Panda King. Growing up poor in the streets, he marveled at the fireworks display from the noblemen of China. He spent a decade perfecting the art, but when he tried to show his fireworks to the noblemen, they couldn't see past his low status and sent him away. The humiliated Panda King turned his tools of art for crime, and he spent his time burying villages in snow in the Kunlun Mountains. Upon his defeat, not giving away the last member's location, thank God, Bentley discovers that the leader of the Fiendish Five is located in the Krakara volcano in Russia. And Sly also received a page from the Thievius Raccoonus detailing the story of his pilot ancestor, Otto von Cooper, who inspired Sly to make for his band a turret gun. Pretty neat, I suppose. As the Cooper gang goes to the final member's hideout, Sly notices the owl silhouettes in the pictures of the Cooper family in the Thievius Raccoonus, which gives descriptions of the infamous leader of the Fiendish Five, Clockwork. Sly thinks this is weird, and I'm with him on that, believe me. At the same time, I'm not surprised for reasons I will discuss later. Anyway, Sly Cooper makes it to the volcano where Clockwork's lair is, and is confronted by miniature robotic owls, a death ray, and a lava monster. Then Sly runs into Carmelita, who is trapped in a cage. He tries to rescue her, but gets trapped too, and nearly dies from Clockwork's toxic gas. Luckily, Bentley uses his hacking abilities to save him. As a token of her gratitude, Carmelita temporarily teams up with Sly to defeat Clockwork. Sly takes Carmelita's jetpack and faces off with Clockwork. It is from Clockwork that Sly learns that he is immortal because he was consumed with jealousy and hatred towards the Coopers, and it got so bad that he replaced his mortal body with machinery. Knowing that his origins lie in ancient Egypt, he might have also had knowledge of magic. Most likely incredibly powerful dark magic combined with advanced technology, specifically metallurgy and blacksmithing. Knowing that Sly Common was born sometime in the 14th century BC, perhaps he was inspired by the Greeks in the midst of Hephaestus with his automatons, as well as Daedalus and Icarus. You know, the technology of the time. An added factor to this is the hatred he feels for Sly and his family, which can make dark magic more powerful. Anyway, during the fight, Sly Cooper asks Clockwork why he let him live when he stole the Thievius Raccoonus, to which Clockwork replies that he wanted to prove that the Coopers were nothing without the Great Book. But Sly debunks this, saying, "The Thievius Raccoonus doesn't create great thieves, it takes great thieves to create the Thievius Raccoonus." I like that quote. Sly's ancestors were great thieves who created the book, writing out original moves. Sure, we learn from our ancestors, but they had their own unique abilities, and we have ours. We could all put our teaching methods in a book for everyone to learn, but at the end of the day, we all have our own original talents that we can add for our descendants. I have my own moves that I learned from books, but that doesn't give me my talents. My talents were always inside me, and it's ultimately the talents Sly Cooper has within himself that helps him defeat Clockwork and regain his birthright. But little does Sly know Clockwork will be back. And there you have it. Hope you enjoyed this video, learned quite a lot from the game, and now you have too, I hope. This is only part 1 of my Sly Cooper videos. Part 2 will be coming soon. Thank you for watching, and if you want more videos, like, share, and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. Now, with that, I hope you have a really good day, and I will see you in the next video. Cheers!